Rise and shine, kiddos.
And welcome to a very different kind of video. In this video, we're going to be taking a look back and sort of doing an audio presentation of the post-mortem write-up I did for the Gallows frequency. For those of you that don't know, a post-mortem is kind of an internal document supposed to be put together throughout the development of a game, but typically published at the end for other people's benefits, where a developer looks at, okay, here's what went well, here's what went bad, and here's what we're going to change for next time. So I thought it'd be fun if kind of put that in video format, because I know people don't have a tendency to like to read, but if you are one of those strange people that would like to read it, it is linked down in a Google Doc in the description. My apologies for my horrid spelling and horrid grammar. As also you will be seeing in the background, or the isn't necessarily the background, but the video for this video is different Let's Play videos, courtesy of the people linked down in the description as well. So to start off with, what went well? Well, I made a game. And I'm not going to get sappy in this one. This is more businessy and front and, yes, synergy. But, this is the first game I've actually released in years. Typically, if I'm making my game, for me, it gets stuck at about a 90% finish phase and then it gets abandoned, or I never quite finish it. I've been sticking mostly to kind of outsider freelance work and working on someone else's game. But this is the first one I've done and completed and released. So what went well right off the bat was the work pipeline. Give you some background info on the game. I was approached by Pink Monster Zero with an idea for a game. Now, Pink originally approached me with a one-line concept of a horror game with kind of a blurry filter on it. Ironically, we originally codenamed the game codename McBlurryface. But then it snowballed quickly from there into, okay, so what kind of game do we want to make? Design went very rapidly from, okay, it's going to be kind of Slender inspired, find the MacGuffin and then find the exit. Map layout went really well. Pretty much everything along the work pipeline ran rather smoothly. There wasn't too many big hiccups, if any. So I was able to get the game done in pretty short order, and I think that also attests to kind of the simplicity of the overall game. But that went well. Other thing that went super well was media outreach. I hadn't quite known what the reaction of going out and approaching new media was going to be. I have had some experience with contacting media in the past for bundles and other type promotions, but that was on a very limited scale. I went a little hog wild on this one and reached out to about 100 new media outlets, that being YouTubers, bloggers, and streamers, as opposed to more traditional games media, because it's a tiny free game. I don't think much traditional games media is going to want to give it a look. I mean, IGN would not care about my game. But to see about a 20%, so around 20 of those outlets came back to me with promises to either look at the game or produce content on it, and of those, we had 10 that actually did produce content. That was humbling. And I do believe there are still a few outlying ones that said that they would produce content on the game, but no pressure for them, and I don't want to name names because then I'd feel like a massive douche. And then the other thing that went well, and what we got the most positive feedback on, was the game itself. Well, one aspect of the game, the atmosphere of the game. Every time we saw someone play the game, either in a Let's Play or stream, or just getting feedback from someone who'd played the game, we were told I nailed the atmosphere of the game. And that made me super happy. It felt creepy, it was uneasy, and that's what you wanted in a horror game. But not everything is sunshine, kittens, and rainbows, as a few things did go poorly. First and foremost, did people have problems with the directions of the game? And some of that was down to, it was either came into your ears after we had done all this creepy setup, people weren't paying attention, and we front-loaded a lot of the information, and subtitles didn't show up with how the way they were coded in. They're likely off-screen, so that didn't really help. and players didn't quite get the core loop of, okay, if I have to run at a constant pace and I don't die, but if I sprint, I die, or if I stand still, I die. A lot of people got frustrated with that. Which ties into, found the game was surprisingly difficult. Many people couldn't beat it. They were running into kind of the most unlucky path where the monster would cross right where they needed to cross. Now, ideally, if we had laid it all out, that would be a perfect scare moment. But given it was up to the gods of RNG, it became more frustrating, and that quickly dampened the experience for people. Because given the game had switched from being this scary, atmospheric, where am I, what's going on, to I hate that giant green thing, it comes and kills me and I have no chance, horror and unease turned to rage and anger. Not ideal. And then finally, taking all that, what we will change for next time. Biggest thing, increase in testing. I've been running a one-man shop for a number of years. I try and hammer at everything I possibly can. I try and get it as nigh flawless and polished as possible, which has led to a lot of the issues I have with releasing games. Oh, it's not ready yet. But I think if we would have had about just one run of testing, a lot of these issues would have become apparent and would have made the overall game better. Next up, this was on the table, but an options menu. I decided against an options menu. One, because I didn't want to put the time in to put it, so that's down to sheer laziness. And two, I just wanted to get the game out. And I didn't really think, the only options that really came to mind were volume controls and mouse sensitivity, which I later found out was something I really should have addressed and will address in a future game. And then finally, more design, less RNG. The feedback we got on the atmosphere was great. People were like, this is creepy. The guy talking on the radio weirded me out. For the first time I heard him, but hearing him say it's a two-player game, you're playing player two's favorite song over and over again, got draining, got grating, and wasn't exactly ideal. Because it was randomly generated where the key was placed, where the door was placed. What I want to do moving forward is kind of move away from that more arcadey feel. I think if I would have laid out a more designed horror experience, I would have been able to take the tension from 0, ratchet it up to 10, ratchet it back down, and take you more on a journey than on a straight, okay, we're going to start at 0, jack you up to 10, and we're staying at 10 for the entire ride, because then you become numb to it, and then it doesn't become scary, it just becomes frustrating. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Learned a lot as always. Every time you do something, there's something to be learned. And really blown away with the reception that Gallows has gotten. And I do want to do another one of these postmortems for the next game. I won't say what the next game is here, but I have announced it. So please stay tuned. And I didn't think of a way to sign off for this. Dearly departed, something.